A Cock 45 looks like a single action, doesn't it? 45 Colt to be exact. You know how I like these kinds of firearms? Look at those big chambers. Yes, some big holes in that cylinder. I bet these 45 Colt rounds will fit. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep. Heritage Rough Rider Big Bore 45 Colt clone. Didn't even know they made these in big bore until recently. Now I have one in my hand. Let's take a shot with it. Let's just start out and go big on a clay pot. All right, see if it'll smoke pots just like the Wild West. Not bad, not bad. I bet it'll even kill 2 liters. Oh, thank you. Now I'm drenched. Oh, it's okay. We'll just stick with it. How about a cowboy? All right, right in the belly button. Click. Yes, Heritage Rough Rider Big Bore. They do come in big bore, as you see. 45 Colt. Let's empty those out with the ejector rod. Big old pieces of brass. Gotta love it, don't you? Yeah, I got this relatively inexpensive, I think around 400 bucks. And it's a clone of the Wild West, the Peacemaker. Okay, there are a lot of them out there. A lot of people make them, no doubt about it. And I'll let you know what I like or don't like about this one. We're gonna fire some Federal ammo. I got a few of my hand loads here, but we'll fire mainly Federal premium cartridges, the American Eagle 45 Colt. We appreciate them and all the help they give us too. Let's just go ahead and fire a couple old 250 grain lead bullets, okay? And before we get it too dirty, I'll take it apart and show you what it looks like inside, as if you've never seen a single action, right? So, good old Colt. Clone. Click. Let's put it in a holster. Got an old El Paso saddlery cross draw there that I use a lot. And let's just pull it out and shoot the coffin. Yeah, like that. He shot 5. Oh, it's got a good feel. Pretty good feel, I'll have to say. You know, I like these firearms. And I've shot a lot of different kinds. So I have some opinions about what I like, what I don't like. Now, as far as durability, I have never really worn any of these out. I've had Ubertis, I own a Uberti now, Cattleman, and they all seem to work. So, you know, with an original Colt clone or Colt, you have the old-fashioned springs and all those kinds of things. So you can occasionally break a spring. I've not had much experience with them breaking, or with the clones. Sometimes you can, but they hold up pretty well. So I don't have a lot I can tell you about durability of the clones versus Colt and a lot of the different ones. I take care of my firearms, and they just seem to work fine. The only one I did have a broken trigger spring on that I can remember was Uberti Cattleman, you know, and it seems extremely well made. But some of those you just need to keep some extra springs around in case, especially if you compete a lot and you need to have it up back in action. Now this one is kind of a clone, but it does have the transfer bar like the Ruger does, and it has a frame mounted firing pin. So maybe it's not a true Colt clone in that sense, but it's very close. Okay, other than that, I don't notice a lot of difference. Okay, so it's a Heritage, Rough Rider Big Bore. Let's take the cylinder out to go back to half cock. Pull the base pin out and not lose it. And there you go. Okay, so kind of what you'd expect, right? It's it seems to be fairly well made. I don't notice any major corners cut. I did read that these are made actually by Pieta in Italy. The parts are, a lot of the parts, and then they're shipped over and then finished assembled, you know, by Heritage. Okay, so I'm not sure what parts it is, if it's all the main parts or what, but so it's kind of a combination production deal there. You know, Pieta of Italy and then Heritage in the United States. Okay, so be aware of that. But for $400, you've got a clone, kind of a clone of the Colt, and so, you know, it might be something that would be interesting to you. The only negative, the big negative I have discovered for me is the trigger guard. The trigger guard is a little small, I guess. It's just smaller, or the trigger is further forward is the thing that I noticed the most. And I stick my finger in there, it barely fits in there between the front of the trigger guard and the trigger. It's like kind of in the way a little bit. So it's a little bit of a nuisance, but not a big deal. Once you get it cocked, then it's not a problem, but it's a little different. I do notice that. I like the fact that it has single one-piece grips, okay, like a lot of the old Colts used to have. That's kind of neat. You can still make them that way. I really wish all my Colts had single piece grips. I like that. Yet we don't have the screw, you know, to tighten down and everything. So pretty neat. All right, so it's 45 Colt. It comes in, I think, 357 Magnum, 4440, and it comes in the typical Colt barrel lengths, as I understand, 4 3/4, 5.5, and 7.5. Comes in nickel, stainless, blue, color case hardening. So you have a lot of different options, just like you do with the Colts. So there you go, for a whole lot less money. Just depends on what you're looking for. For a lot of people, this isn't their favorite firearm maybe, but they wouldn't mind having a copy of a single action, you know, just to plink around with. And you got a little bit of cowboy in you. So one of these copies or one of these clones is just what the doctor ordered, okay? So let's shoot it again here a couple times, all right? You don't have to twist my arm to shoot 45 Colt. Now it's got the transfer bar and everything, but I'm still gonna load 5. It's just a habit, so I stick with it. You could obviously load 6 and be pretty safe, or in the range especially, but I just stay in that habit of loading 5. All right. If I was going to a gunfight, I might deviate from that. Let's go attack some 2-liters down here. I'm gonna put it in my holster. There we go. All right, who wants it? There's a cowboy that needs to be shot right there. Let's try a 2-liter. All right. Here, I thought I needed to move up close. Maybe I didn't. The sights aren't bad. Let's try the gong. Left. Yeah, oh, elevation was good. Let's go back and load it. Elevation was good that time, but I was to the left, okay? I've discovered over the years, as I pointed out to y'all before, I mainly, when I have problem hitting, it's just one of 2 things. I've got it narrowed down to 2 things, elevation or windage. So if I can just master those 2 problems, I could be the best shooter around, really. Okay, so with one-handed, with a single action like this, it's easy to pull it left. You gotta watch it, and that's what I was doing. And it's a different gun. I have all kinds of excuses, but I would like to hit the gong. I think I can do it. Okay, how bad are my glasses? Not too bad. It is a hot, humid day. Wow, summer is here, I tell you. Humid. All right, let's see if we can put one on that old gong. Oh, it's a little sacrilegious to shoot a single action with 2 hands, but I want to put one on him. All right, there we go. We'll save the rest for the cowboy and the 2-liters. Oh yeah, oh there's a 2-liter over there. Where'd he come from? Cool. That old cowboy there needs to be shot more. Click, empty. Okay, and you eject the cases simply just like that. Not a difficult task. All right, we'll shoot one more round here at least. If you've never owned any kind of single action and you know, it's just not in your budget, maybe there's other firearms you're looking at, they're way more important to you right now, you know, something like this or any of the other clones that are out there, I would advise that, you know, you're not the guy or gal who's going to save up and, you know, spend $1,500 on a Colt. You're not that interested in them. I would highly recommend, though, to have a single action in your collection. They're just special. You know, they don't have to be a Colt. They all operate about the same, and they just take you back into history. They really do, no matter who makes it. I mean, if it's a, you know, if it's of this design, it's going to take you back into history. They do me, okay? Where into history? Back into maybe 1873, a big year, when this firearm right here, basically, the Colt single action Army, came about, as did the cartridge, the 45 Colt, as did the 4440 and the 4570. We have a video, I think, called 1873. It was a very big year. The Winchester 1873 came out, I think, in 1873. 4570 cartridge, a trapdoor Springfield, very big year. All right, I feel like a cowboy. Let's shoot that red plate right there. Yeah, let's plug that cowboy, that Desperado, and the other Desperado. Yeah, and the tombstone, and the coffin. Do I have another round? Yeah, I do. Pretty cool. Yeah, it's not a bad, it's got a nice finish on it. You know, the grips are nice. The finish, the cut, the fit of the grips is pretty good. And it is empty. Let me double check. Yeah, fired 5, yep. It's got a nice, like I say, a nice, I don't know if it's a bluing, it's kind of a black, but it looks pretty good. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell you it's like equal to a Colt or something, but it's not a bad gun for $400. It's interesting what you can get your hands on these days for that kind of money. It really is. Whether it's a 1911, you know, clone or one of these, this sort of thing. So pretty neat. If you got a little cowboy in you, it might be something you want to take a look at. The Heritage Rough Rider and a big bore. It comes in some other, you know, calibers, as I mentioned. 357 Magnum might be more to your taste because you can shoot 38 specials in it, you know, and a little more flexibility there. So pretty cool, not bad. Life is good. Since I'm still here, let me thank SDI for all their help. SDI is a fully accredited online gunsmithing school. Check them out at sdi.edu. We'd also like to thank Bud's Gun Shop and Federal Premium for all of their support. You can find us on Full 30 also now, and you can find the links to our Facebook pages and the other YouTube pages in the description of any video. So I invite you to check out the description in every video or any video. You'll find what you need to know, and you'd better do it.